Russia's President Vladimir Putin has declared that Moscow will liberate all of Donbass, saying Ukrainian forces will eventually withdraw from the region or be pushed out by Russian troops. The remarks came during an interview with an Indian news channel on Thursday, ahead of his upcoming state visit to India. Putin's comments also follow his meeting at the Kremlin earlier this week with US presidential envoy Steve Witkoff. Their discussions reportedly centered on an American-drafted peace roadmap for ending the conflict in Ukraine. According to leaks of the initial 28-point proposal in US and European media, the plan calls on Ukraine to make significant concessions. These include relinquishing the parts of Donetsk and Lugansk that remain under Kyiv's control, abandoning its bid for NATO membership and capping the size of its military. Ukrainian officials have rejected these conditions.
Either we will liberate those territories through military force, or Ukrainian forces will withdraw and stop fighting there. It all comes to that.
Putin suggested the months of heavy fighting in Donbass could have been avoided altogether, claiming that Moscow had communicated its position to Kyiv well before the current escalation.
We told Ukraine from the start, the people don't want to stay with you. They took part in referendums, voted for their independence. Pull back your troops and there will be no fighting. But they chose to fight.
Referendums in Donetsk and Lugansk were held in 2022 after Russia's military intervention began. Moscow maintains that the votes justify its current control over those areas. Kyiv and Western governments, however, reject the referendums as illegitimate, saying they were held under occupation. Russian forces have been gradually advancing in Donbass for several months. Moscow says Ukraine is struggling to replenish manpower despite expanded mobilization efforts. Independent verification of battlefield conditions remains limited. On Monday, Russia announced the capture of the key frontline city of Krasnoarmeysk, also known as Pokrovsk, in the Donetsk region. A large group of Ukrainian soldiers is reportedly encircled in the surrounding area, though Kyiv has not confirmed this development. In another major update, Putin said last week that Russian troops have broken through Ukrainian defenses in the northern part of the Zaporozhye region. He claimed that Russian units are now maneuvering around some of Kyiv's most heavily fortified defensive lines further south. Ukraine has yet to publicly respond to Putin's latest predictions about the fate of Donbass, but officials in Kyiv continue to insist that no territorial concessions are on the table and that the country will defend all internationally recognized borders.